Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. The Deebo Samuel outlook could change for the Commanders following an insider's projection. Positive buzz is swirling around the Washington Commanders for the first time in decades. This team fell from grace and became an NFL pariah under previous ownership. Now, they're a hot destination again after a sensational run to the NFC Championship game. There aren't many better situations in the league right now. Adam Peters is loaded with salary cap space and has 7 draft picks at his disposal. Nothing is off the table for an upgrade, including another aggressive move on the trade market if the right situation presents itself. One player who appears ready for a move this offseason is Deebo Samuel Sr., the explosive wide receiver, had his trade request granted by the San Francisco 49ers, who are looking to balance their books. While his production has dipped in 2024, he remains one of the league's best post-catch weapons. He's also connected to Peters, who was part of the brain trust that selected him number 36 overall in 2019. Samuel is an all-pro performer at the peak of his powers and should be highly motivated by a new challenge. Parting with assets will give Peters reason to look in a different direction, especially considering the money involved. But if one insider's prediction is accurate, the prospect becomes that much more intriguing. Insider's projection changes Deebo Samuel to Commanders' outlook. ESPN's Dan Graziano outlined how difficult it will be for the Niners to secure a trade for Samuel. The financial implications after delaying the move through the restructuring have come back to haunt them. Releasing the wideout and spreading the dead money around represents a more viable solution. From a cap standpoint, they really can't afford to trade him. Because of the way they've restructured Deebo Samuel's deal over the years, the 49ers would take on $31.55 million in dead money cap charges for 2025 if they trade Samuel. That number would jump to about $47 million if they trade him after his March 22nd option bonus expires, so this will obviously play out before then. Releasing Samuel before March 22nd and designating him as a post-June 1 cut is the only reasonable way for the 49ers to go here. That would result in a dead money cap hit of roughly $10.75 million this season, and the remaining $20.8 million or so in dead money would go toward their 2026 cap. Dan Graziano. Giving up a draft pick for Samuel is a divisive topic among the Washington fan base. However, if Peters can land the versatile playmaker without sacrificing draft capital, that changes things considerably. The Commanders wouldn't be alone in their covetousness for Samuel if he were to hit the open market. He'd field a few offers from competing teams, hoping the South Carolina product still has something left in the tank. Washington wouldn't have had a chance in a free agent contest previously. That's no longer the case. Samuel's connection to Peters, the Commanders' recent resurgence, their ambition to compete sooner than expected, and the presence of Jayden Daniels at center are all strong selling points. The promise of a meaningful role in an offense that plays to his strengths is another positive working in Washington's favor. If the Commanders are looking for a decent complementary piece to go with Terry McLaurin, and they should be, Samuel would be a tremendous addition if he were released. And no one will know more about what makes the player tick than Peters. Watch this space. Washington Commanders should look for DK Metcalf, not Kupp or Samuel. During the offseason, there has been a lot of talk about which positions the Washington Commanders should strengthen for next season. Among the discussions, the wide receiver position has been one of the most mentioned, with several analysts and fans speculating about possible reinforcements. Names such as Chris Godwin, T. Higgins, and Deebo Samuel have been linked to the team, fueling the expectation of a major move in the market. However, more than just adding talent to the roster, the Commanders need to look for the right piece to elevate the team. According to NFL.com analyst Adam Rank, there is one ideal name that would fit perfectly into the franchise's project: DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks. If I were in charge of the Washington Commanders, the NFC West receiver I would be targeting this offseason would not be Cooper Kupp or Deebo Samuel, but DK Metcalf, said Rank. He's a dominant target who could add a lot to a team like Washington, especially if the team loses some options on offense and needs a real upgrade at the position. Metcalf, 27, has been one of the NFL's most consistent wide receivers since his arrival in the league. He has surpassed the 900-yard receiving mark in all 6 of his professional seasons, showing his ability to be a reliable threat in the passing game. In addition, the situation in Seattle could favor a possible trade. The Seahawks have a young talent on the rise in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who recorded 1,100 receiving yards and was elected to his first Pro Bowl in the 2024 season. With Metcalf approaching the end of his contract, which only runs through 2025, and with several important decisions to be made by the team under new coach Mike Macdonald, it could be the ideal time for Seattle to consider a trade and accumulate draft picks to invest in the future. For the Washington Commanders, the arrival of a wide receiver like DK Metcalf could represent a huge leap forward for the offense, providing a reliable target for the new quarterback and increasing the team's chances of competing at a high level next season. Now, it remains to be seen whether the team's front office is willing to explore this opportunity and turn this speculation into reality. Rival Commanders Cowboys should trade star quarterback, NFL analyst says. Adam Rank recently took to NFL.com to speculate on a handful of trades that are likely to happen this offseason. One of them included the Washington Commanders, who Rank believes should trade for Seattle Seahawks receiver DK Metcalf. There was another trade on Rank's list that would directly impact the Commanders in 2 games per season and indirectly in many other ways. One of Rank's most explosive claims is that Washington's rival, the Dallas Cowboys, should trade linebacker Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is one of 7 players to surpass 50 sacks in their first 4 NFL seasons. Are the Cowboys really moving on from the 2021 Defensive Rookie of the Year award so early in his career? In fact, there's plenty of reason to think an extension is in the offing, heading into the final year of his rookie contract. On the other hand, NFL Network insiders Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport recently reported that the team has discussed internally whether to pay Parsons or trade him for a real ransom. And considering the trade proposals being floated for Myles Garrett, I can't help but wonder what Parsons could bring, Rank says. A deal like this might bring to mind 2 similar trades from Jerry Jones' past. First, there's the Herschel Walker trade that helped spur his franchise's rebuilding in the 1990s. Then there's Dallas' aforementioned acquisition of Charles Haley in 1992. Haley was a huge part of the Cowboys dynasty in the 1990s, and the 49ers simply gave up on him, only to be thwarted by him in the playoffs. So if Dallas were to trade Parsons, he'd have to go to a team like the Ravens in the AFC. The Cowboys can't just give him to an NFC team like Detroit or Chicago. Given Rank's well-known fandom for the Chicago Bears, it's refreshing to see that he's not recommending that the Cowboys send Parsons there. But regardless, a trade like this would be huge and would only do more damage to the psyche of Dallas fans everywhere, or what Washington fans like to call a good day.